And a very good evening, East Africa. Welcome to yet a brand new and also exciting week of The Desk. Now more than ever, I'm yours truly, Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. And guess what? It is another thrilling and also exciting episode of The Desk where we're actually going to be educating and discussing matters that affect the nation. Now, many thanks for always keeping yourselves glued onto U24 television. Now, we trust that every time you watch U24, you are inspired, you are motivated, but above all, you are educated. Like tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about things that deal with the emotions, the mind, and also these things later in turn affect the body. So you have to sit back, relax, because tonight's show is actually going to be very educative. The lady in the chair, I'm telling you, these are people who've set themselves on a pedestal to help people get better. And I'm talking the soul, the mind, the emotions, for them to actually feel better. Joan Mukasa, she's actually been in this business for quite some time. But welcome to the show. Good to see you, Joan.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Shadrach?
I'm very well. So just tell us about yourself. I just told them you're Joan Mukasa and you're helping people. How?
Thank you so much, Shadrach.
Yeah.
My name is Joan Mukasa Ochen, and I'm a mental health therapist. I work with Acts in Full Treatment, Action for Community Treatment Services Foundation.
Mm-hmm. Right. So what is Acts doing? Because I remember a couple of weeks ago, she should be like 2 months ago, should be like a month ago, we had Mrs. Chibuka Diana on the show, and she was from the US, from the Acts Foundation, and she told us a couple of things that she was planning to do, but she did not go in detail. Now, specifically, what are you guys doing?
Thank you so much, Shadrach. We run several programs, not very many, but because we are into the community, we have different programs that are run by different people who have different people running under them. We have a children's program where we help children in the community who are faced with domestic violence and with early pregnancies, and we have children, specifically those who are school going, that we are helping to go back to school to continue with their studies, especially after they've given birth to their children, because it's not their fault that they've gotten pregnant. Some were raped, some were involved themselves in worship.
Joanne, I want to be a little bit insensitive. What if it's their fault? Some is their fault. Some just choose to sleep around with border men.
Very true. Some choose to sleep around with border men, but sometimes they're innocent. They don't know what is going to happen thereafter. Sometimes they think it's about the sweet or the money they've given them, and then they walk away after sleeping with them. Sometimes they've seen it happen in their own houses with their parents because of the surrounding where they stay, and they are trying out what they've seen. Eyes send a lot of things, send kids to do what they've seen. So some are trying out what they've seen at home, but they don't know the repercussions, and then they end up pregnant. So we've left out the element of judging, and we are helping them continue with their education, because a bright future is a bright country.
I just want to find out with these girls.
Yes.
Is it that because we keep having this discussion until when? Until the men sober up? Well, until when shall we sing this song of early pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies?
We are not going to sing it for long, because as Acts, we are sensitizing. We go down into the communities, work with their VHTs, and we train them so that they go around the communities and teach people and train and teach people how to avoid these things. Teach children how to avoid these things. We are specifically handling the girls because we think that if a girl can say no, a man can walk away from her. If we teach this girl how to handle herself, how to be patient with her body,
Right.
how to be assertive with very many things about what will happen when she does something that will spoil her future later. I have a belief that we are helping a very big generation around her.
You know, still in the discussion, you see, in towns we blame television, social media. How about in rural areas? What are you trying to explore that you have not seen because you're not exposed on TV? There's no social media. So what is that? How come we have such cases?
Oh, Shadrach, I said it before that these children learn from what they see.
Okay.
In the villages, we might not have televisions, we might not have books to read, we might not have telephones, but the settings where we grow up from, you might find this child and the parents and 7 other children are in one bedroom or one roomed house, and the parents have to carry on their activities daily, and this child, they will believe that this child is sleeping. In actual sense, she's not sleeping.
What should they do? What should the parents do? You're denying them their rights.
That's very true, Shadrach. The children are denying them their rights. But we really need to sensitize the children and show them however much this is happening, because we are not going to change their bedrooms to where they sleep. As acts, we are not going to change where they stay. We are not going to help them like develop the houses and we separate the bedrooms of the parents and the children. But when we sensitize them and show them the dangers, the good in growing up and then doing these activities, I think some of them grow up positively. Because now,
that has shed a light into something. So you find a couple that has lived for years because they have children, they've never enjoyed their marriage. You're always sneaking. No, I'm not being insensitive, but I'm just trying to be practical here. So no sanga couple anytime they've had to indulge in the act, they're always sneaky because their children sleeping on the floor somewhere. Is this poverty? What's happening? Because
okay, when we go into the communities, we do not handle the children alone. We go down till the parents. During counseling, we are not supposed to advise, but we lay strategies with the person you're counseling. If I meet the parent, we can talk about many different things. We can focus on what we should do for you to enjoy your conjugal rights while the children are not involved. We might find, when I was growing up, my grandmother told me something. Wachiri oyiwa omuchere wabweru n'obagamba balonde kamu while inside you're finishing your business. So in the process of laying strategy, you might give them an idea like that.
This is a first of its kind. This is not for our generation.
It's not for our generation, but you might find that it might work for them. It might not be rice, but you might create something that can take away all these kids, and then they continue with their conjugal rights.
Oh my goodness, I am telling you, Joan here seems, calm, but she hits the nail where actually it hurts the most. She hits the nail on the head. But let's go for a short break. When we come back, now we dive deep into depression and anxiety, how these are related. Are they even a thing in Africa? You're telling us depression and anxiety. Are those things really practical in Africa or in the US and other countries? But do not go, we're coming back. Alright, and welcome back. Now if you're just joining us, I'm afraid you've missed the very first, exciting and also educative segment of this very lovely episode of The Desk. I am telling you, Joan has told us things that are not of this sanctuary. I don't know where she got them. However, it is a life hack for you who has a 1-bedroom house and you want to, you can try what Joanne has actually told us. But you can follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms. I'm talking Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do that for Shadrach Kisame and do that for U24 Television. And by the way, we are broadcasting here at our home at Nile Avenue at Nakasero Hill. I'm telling you, we are in the heart of Kampala at UBC headquarters. But guess what? You are on U24 Television. Now, sliding back into the discussion, anxiety and depression. Now, I want you to note that Uganda has the second youngest population in the world. And I'm talking over 78% of the population is under the age of 30 years old. So these things we're discussing here actually are for the 78% that is below the age of 30 years. Because guess what? They're the future leaders, they're the future parents, and they are the future legislators. So if you are a child or you are under that demographic, I think you need to sit back, relax, and listen to what Joanne has to say. Anxiety, depression, are these things, first of all, are they real in Africa? Like, can someone be depressed in Africa?
Yes, Shadrach. Depression, anxiety, stress are very common in Africa, but us Africans think that these are diseases for the whites.
Yeah.
These are diseases that are supposed to be suffered from people who are rich. Yes. But I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
There are three things which are different, and us Africans will think that it's one related thing.
Yeah.
It's one brother and sister. But it's not.
Yeah.
Stress is something that doesn't take long in your daily life. You can be stressed over something, but when it's done, you'll be sorted.
Yeah.
Depression, in the other instance, it's a long-term thing that can take more than 2 weeks, that can carry on months, that can carry on years. Someone can be depressed for years. And someone can start by something very small, start small, and then something just keeps growing. Things just keep growing. Anxiety, in the other hand, it might be closer to stress. Anxiety bwe bunkenke. Depression yenyike. But you will never tell someone, I'm suffering from enyike, I'm suffering from obunkenke. No. That won't happen here in Uganda or Africa.
But you know, in loose talk, but we don't really know what it means. It's usually used for maybe politicians. True.
Bunkenke or anxiety, I would say it's something that is not long-lived, because something has just happened and you're trying to find ways to solve it.
In that minute.
In those minutes.
Yes.
But in those minutes, you're anxious.
Yeah.
You're like, what should I do? Who should I meet? Who should I?
Yeah.
But depression comes into your life after
depression is that after a series of bunkenke, then it develops into that?
True. No. It's not a series of bunkenke.
Yeah.
It's a life thing that comes into your life that you cannot change in any way. Whereas bunkenke you can change, depression you cannot change. Sometimes triggers of depression could be life change.
Okay.
When you've just been hit by a boulder and your leg is broken or your arm is broken or anything has happened to you, there is a way you cannot change that thing. There are so many things that are going to come because you're in this condition. You are bedridden, you cannot carry on with your work, you cannot play the games you used to play, so every time you think about those things, you end up having depression or okubera munyike ojja kumalako onyika wadde is like
extremely depressed,
feeling pity on yourself.
Is that what happens to these girls that get pregnant?
They in a way it happens to them. It's a life change, because there's a picture that was moving on WhatsApp those days when they had just started school. And one of the pictures was a girl child breastfeeding while the teacher was teaching in class, and other students were looking on. If it was you and you saw your picture breastfeeding while the teacher was teaching and other children were looking on, of course you read the children's faces around you and you will tell that I have a problem. You will start judging yourself. that will lead to depression in a way, because your mind will start working. Okay, the other boy saw my breast while it was out, while I was breastfeeding. Okay, nowadays these girls call me Mama Abana. Nowadays people are giving me different names. Kind of, you won't be happy to go back to school because you went through a life change. Because bringing life to earth means you're going to look after that life forever. You won't abandon it at any one time, unlike men who will make you pregnant and then run away and start another life elsewhere.
Let me just ask a question. Does this kind of feeling affect, let's say for instance, but does it even happen in the world of the rich where their children get unwanted pregnancies? Does it even affect them? Does this happen, or is just in impoverished homes? And
I'm telling you, Shadrach, it happens everywhere.
Even with the rich,
you do not have to be rich. You do not have to be poor for this thing to happen. As long as you brought a different person in on the earth, just know everything is going to be upon you. You are supposed to care for this person, and wherever you go, this person will always follow you. Sometimes it affects them in ways that they drop out of school. They chase away from their homes, and some just become ashamed and just leave homes and go start new life with their young boyfriends. And somehow things change from a rich family to another setting.
And by the way, when you talk about depression, because it makes so much sense. I recently, bumped into like you see how we finished senior 6, and then maybe some of the girls did not go to campus, and then maybe you find them later, and then you're like, oh yeah, they're like, you married? I'm like, no, I'm dating. Maybe I'll marry this person. But so they're like, you don't even have any children? I'm like, no, why would I have children now? I'm not married. They're like, I have 3. And then the conversation changes. The person now starts, because you don't have children. For them, they have 3. They are not married. And then your Shadrach, it's them. It starts to become funny. It kills a relation. That person will now start seeing you at a different level, and yet you are in school together.
That's true, Shadrach.
So it creates some sort of low esteem, something.
Exactly. Like he has children and might not be well off, and you don't have children, but you might be well off at the moment. Why isn't he well off? He maybe did not prepare for these children. So this guy is passing through something that you're not going through. You might find yourself that this person doesn't look so good like he used to look in school. Yet you feel like he was your friend. He nowadays you people use vibe.
Vibe. What? And for me, Zendi kuja kwa your level ya vibe. Like, hey, what's up? And for the guy is like man, life.
And they will feel like you're against them, or you're laughing at them because of what they already have. They will feel like you're judging them. They will feel everything, but that is inside, and
so how do I help them, Joan? Do I also become like this? Because man, I'm a happy person. You don't expect me to come to your level because they've been to BV.
Exactly. I don't think you hope that person until that person opens up to you. In the counseling sessions, we sit with these people and try to probe until these people open up to us. We find out why, how, and where, and how we should help them. But if this person doesn't open up to you, you will not know. Another person will come and tell you, I have 3 kids, and pose like he's well off. And you won't take it very far. You will let that person go. But inside him, he's going through something that you need to help him with, but he hasn't opened up to you. So in the counseling sessions and throughout the communities, you cannot start helping someone who hasn't opened up to you.
So first step is opening up.
It's opening up.
So why is the opening up so hard? Is it a painful process?
Indeed, Shadrach, it's painful. Some people, instead of opening up, sometimes end up crying.
I've seen that.
And as a counselor, you can't stop that person from crying. A normal person like Shadrach will say, guma 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 sidika. That is not good. You let that person pour out the tears. Through the tears, she will start narrating If it's a session of 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, you let that person cry until she feels like she is ready. Maybe this person went through something and did not cry, and this is the time she has to cry.
So is crying like a healing process?
It might not be crying, it can also be silent. You will come to me, you're my counselor, and I'll keep quiet. But when I keep quiet, because I'm listening to you, you're trying to probe, you're trying to find out, I might not pour tears. But this silence is helping me heal.
Okay.
And I'll feel like I've changed, something has changed. Maybe through the next session, it will help me open up, because we do not do one session. We carry out more than 4-5 sessions.
So how about the people akolako bidi na duka?
Maybe that one is not a counselor.
No, I mean with the patient, because the counselor. Yeah.
You're right. That is very common. Sometimes when someone opens up very fast, you might not succeed in other sessions, because he will blame himself, he will judge himself, she will do anything to herself. So if you do not follow up, or if you do not carry out like icebreakers through the sessions, if you not make this person feel comfortable in the sessions, if you do not welcome this person well into the sessions, you'll find this person will run away from you. Because you're a counselor and you've come to do your job as a therapist, you would want this person to open up to you, but you're not making this person feel at home, open up well to you. You'll find that this person will run away, and that won't be a healing process. That person can run away and do anything to herself.
So yes. So before we go for a short break, as a counselor, your experience, most of the people you've talked to, if you're to average or if you're to sum it, and what do you think are some of the causes of this thing? Is it family related? Is it work related from a professional angle, or usually it's home, it's a domestic thing?
Because I've been working in the communities and the rural communities, to market well, it's poverty and domestic violence.
I think domestic violence is actually a result of poverty.
And the child abuses and everything else is related in poverty and domestic violence. It's because of these elements that very many people have handled all into depression and all into what they feel is like taking their lives, and like other things.
So umuntu taina sente, he will go drinking, come back and beat the woman.
And you might find talina sente, but it's because of the family or what he goes through that he does not even want to work to get that money.
Oh, there are no jobs.
That's true. There are no jobs.
Oh, there are just no jobs. You just can't find what to do.
In the rural setting, we have gardens. I won't say that everyone has gardens. You can have a garden, but you can also start a very small stall or small shop where you sell where you sell goods from other people's gardens. Because we are trying to look for ways to live and handle life well. If I can't go to the garden, what else can I do? Let me sell someone else's things from the garden. Sometimes we just need someone to talk to us, tell us what we should do, or show us what we can do in front of us, or what we have in our village that can help us rise, that we wake up and start doing those things.
On that point right there, let's go for a short break, because it's becoming sad up in here. We're coming back. And special thanks to all those who keep themselves logged onto the desk. I'm talking the continent's leading intellectual platform. Actually, the highest platform for solution finding. Now, if you want greatness in life, first step is watching the desk. Second step is always not leaving U24 television, because trust me, we are the #1 edutainment television in the country and in the region. Now remember, we're still broadcasting here at our home at Nile Avenue, Nakasero Hill, UBC headquarters, but you are on U24 television. Now follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Now if you've not followed me on Facebook, you have seconds right now. Rush for your phone and type in Shadrach Kisame, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and follow me for everything Shadrach Kisame. And also, if you want to feature on the desk, the email is shadrachkisame44@gmail.com, or you need anything to do with business and consultancy, we'll have you sorted right there. Now we're still seeing how depression actually affects our daily life and how we can prevent it in this last segment, Joan, because it seems like a lot of people are suffering with this thing, but some may not know it's what's happening, and even when they realize, they don't know how to work up around it.
Thank you so much, Shadrach. Depression has lots of triggers that I've talked in the previous
segment,
and it also includes death or grieving, and it includes life change. I've talked about life change. I've talked and disagreements. We've hinted it somewhere. And then isolation. Some people might not think that it affects, but isolation, when you isolate yourself from your friends, there is a way you detach your life from others. So we can really prevent it by finding someone to talk to. When you talk to someone, there is a way something might be solved from your heart.
Right.
That person might have a solution, or together you might come up with a solution that can really help you cope up with life. And another prevention, you can also involve yourself in different activities so that you don't have an idle mind. Some people tend to sit and forget about and think and dwell on thoughts.
Just that one thing that went wrong.
Yes. Instead of at least carrying out an activity. Someone who might tell me, I don't have a job, I don't have an activity to carry on. Find something to, at least if you can't clean up your home, sweep around the compound, or walk to your friends and talk about productive things. Go and find out why the other has a shop that is really having so many things, and for you failed to start up that same thing. So try to talk about different things that you feel can lead to your better productivity.
On that point right there, I want you to emphasize it. Probably there's a girl watching you, maybe in Chibuli, Chikuba Mutwe or Kasubi, and for them they're like, Zendi Musiri say, Mbie Marida, like I don't talk to anyone, and guess what, maybe they were raped or something, and still Musiri say Wataina Gwa get the. What's your advice to such a person?
There are some things that go on in our lives that are really shaming, and some of us, our parents brought us up that when we talk about shaming things, we are going to be brought down. Please do not sit down and dwell on that thought that I was raped and I cannot do anything better because of what happened to me in the past. Stand up and go and find something to do. If you cannot involve yourself in sports, because sports is selling right now. If you cannot involve yourself there, find at least someone who is doing like gardening, who has a shop, and discuss something. Slowly by slowly you might pick something out of it, and it helps you later. Tetwetuulako waliyo abakola emirimu emirala egisobola okuyamba. Genda ozuule lwaki ye mugagga ye atambuza obulamu bwe nga bulungi, ate gwe munaye gy'oli lwakuba baakurepinga, lwakuba baakuvuma, lwakuba bazadde baakukola ki, baakubonyaabonya, gwe lwaki tovaayo kufuuka muntu ali better in life. Find out from different sources. Of course, don't go to those men who are going to give you money to show you that you can be better with this money. No. Try to work and earn your own money so that you become a better person thereafter.
So how do I kill anxiety? Because you know what when you explained anxiety, I figured that we're living in this everyday, Joan. You know, at work, in business, and they think it's a normal facet of life. So how do I prevent it, say, as Shadrach?
Shadrach, I'll help you with the bunkenke. If you can teach yourself how to calm down, It might not be easy, but talk to the inner heart. How do I handle this without panicking? Because in most cases when you panic, you're going to lose out. You're going to say things like, if I was preparing for an exam and I spent the whole night reading through my books, be well assured I'm going to sleep during the exam. Nabadde ku bunkenke nga netegekera ekibuuzo kituuse neebase. Am I helping myself? But if I say, okay, I've been reading throughout the other days, let me rest so that I prepare for the morning exam and come in time. Fellow counselors, when you're going to have a session with a client, come early so that you calm down. Maybe you've gone through different things on the road, you've seen accidents, you didn't take tea, but come early, sit down and set yourself for this session. When you come late, be well assured you're not going to help this person. It also comes down to us. And also fellow workers, when you're going anywhere to prepare for anything, come as early. That's what I mean by okwejjamu obunkenke, relax, yogera n'omutima gwo and settle. If you're going to have this thing ekikutadde ku bunkenke in this time, prepare in time so that tobeera ku bunkenke.
Right. Our time is really, really fast spent. Under 30 seconds, your last words to the people who are watching.
I'm really grateful for this platform, and I would really like other counselors to come out and say the same things and show people that counseling is for everyone. It's not for the whites, it's not for the rich people. But even if you go down in the villages, there are people who are going through different things that need our counseling. There are those young girls, like I've told you before, who need our counseling, who just need an ear for a counselor, for an adult person, for them to get over what is going through their lives. Thank you so much, Shadrach. I'm really grateful for this time.
Right. Yeah, Joan, it is a wrap. Thank you very much. COVID twamugoba. It is a wrap. Thank you very much for keeping yourselves. This one has been somewhat a sad one because we've been very practical, seeing what is going on in people's lives down there. But like she has said, do not wallow in your own misery. Otherwise, it helps nothing. And anxiety, she has said, learn to calm down. But from me and the entire 24 management, we'd like to sign out. We'd like to say good night, good luck, adios for God and my country. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Now until next week, of course, same place, same time, same host. Good night.